All right. Welcome, everybody, to another session of Dreamwalker. If you're wondering where Lolo is on her way. Just running slightly late. So I didn't want to have you guys sit around for another 5 minutes or so while we wait. So I figured we would unmute and oh, there we go. And we would hang out. It's all good. We're just getting into things anyway. So now that we're all here, if the teacher isn't here after 15 minutes, we can leave. Yeah, I suppose so. I guess that's a fair assumption. If I'm if I'm like more than 15 minutes late for a stream and there's no update as to why, then I'm probably just like in the hospital or something. And you don't need to come to class that day, students. So
Game mysteriously starts by itself.
Previously on Dreamwalker, actually, let's get our previously on. There's your summary. So, after entering the dream world in order to try and stop the demonic presence that is haunting the young innocent Elizabeth Winchester, the party has hunted around and found a way to progress, seemingly maybe further into the dream through an old door that sits alone in part of town. And the only problem is that the door requires a key. And after looking into that, they learned that the key had actually been stolen from the Queen of Elwindel. And the suspect, a girl named Suri, insisted that she did not do it. And so, after seeking out potential other suspects, they landed upon a fellow named Jasper, who they learned was sort of a bunny folk, and had a habit of stealing things. And so, after following some leads and finding where Jasper may have went, they learned that he had disappeared out into the forest and hadn't returned in a few days. So, seeking out the supposed thief, they decided to make their way out into the forest and quickly arrived at Hidden Hill Burrow, a series of tunnels within sort of the side of a bunch of hills, some rockier hills. And so on the last session, they delved into the tunnels and found that there was a poisonous swamp within the caves of Hidden Hill Burrow that they had to sort of navigate around in an attempt to not fall in. And so, after a run-in with a nightmarish eel in the swamps, and after navigating across some rather precarious flowers, they finally managed to make their way into another tunnel that headed north. And so that was where we left off, with them traversing into a new cavern. And we will pick up right from there. Thanks for the resub, Senan. 14 months, man. Alright. So, let's get back into things. Alrighty. So, the three of you had navigated across these precarious flowers and managed to arrive on the far side of this cavern after a slight detour to the west. And we're going to follow the path that you had not taken so far. And I believe Nightshade has a torch out.
Yeah.
So the tunnels of Hidden Hill Burrow are illuminated by the crackling orange torchlight as you make your way through sort of a narrow, rocky tunnel. Actually, let's do the copy right now. Let's get all three of you together, and we'll do that right now. And then we don't have to do it later. Perfect. So, winding your way around the tunnels, you actually find yourself, after about 5 minutes of walking,
Oh.
at a fork in the road, if you will, as the tunnel that you're currently making your way down splits into sort of a bit of an open area that has one tunnel running north and another tunnel running sort of southeast.
Is that a pond up ahead?
It looks like a cliff, from what I see, but looks like a perfect circle. It's weird.
As you make your way sort of towards the crossroads, you find that there's sort of a half kind of rocky collapsed area in the center where there's sort of a big puddle of the swamp that you've seen before. And as you kind of take a look at it, it's sort of, you can see that mist that Duja tried so hard to avoid using her trunk last session just kind of pools sitting right on top of the sludge and slime, but not wisping any higher.
Hmm. Do you guys want to check this out, or should we just continue along the road?
I'm quite
it out.
intrigued.
Mm-hmm. I would like to check it out, actually.
Are you able to tell how deep it is by just looking at it?
The depth of actually, like, sort of from your foot level, like sort of the level that you're standing on right now, to kind of where the sludge is at the bottom of this pond, is about the same height as maybe Nightshade and Clover, who are sort of average height.
I guess this means one thing only. Duja takes off her shoes again and puts her trunk up high. She looks at everybody. I'm going in.
Our
She
hero.
steps in and I guess feels around with her toes, perhaps.
All right, yeah, you hop down into the sludge, and are you doing the same sort of like snorkel with your trunk
Yes.
to kind of hold your head up above the mist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is
Then go ahead.
Is it any different in there, or is it the same?
It feels the same so far.
Yeah, the sludge of this little pond is the same swamp that you waded through when you made your way across that trench to seek out the chest. Though, of course, this pond is a little bit smaller, not quite as deep. But as you kind of wade your way around, you actually feel your foot sort of kick something hard, submerged beneath the swamp.
Ow!
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Are you okay?
hit my toes on something.
Oh.
I guess I guess she reaches an arm down there, trying her hardest to keep her trunk up. But she kind of reaches under and feels for something, whatever it might be.
Yeah, you sort of pull it up, and at first, actually, to you, Duja, it feels like a Loxodon tusk.
Oh.
As you pull it up and kind of re-emerge it from this swamp. So it's covered in grime as you examine it, but it's the same shape. It's kind of this hard, long piece of what appears to be bone, shaped like a tusk.
Oh, it feels like a horn. a tusk or something, and
Ooh.
pulls it out and shows it to everybody. I guess kind of lets it land on the ledge.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get out of here.
I poke it with my staff.
You poke it and nothing happens. But one of the three of you, whoever you want, can make either a nature or a medicine check. Either would apply.
I could do a medicine because I have +4.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
Was that a
Hey.
21?
Mhm.
All right. With a 21, you kind of examine this piece of something that Dew just pulled up out of the swamp. And at first you kind of agree, yeah, it does look like sort of a tusk or maybe some sort of horn, and then it sort of hits you. No. This is a rib.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
again, a very large rib.
Whoever this belonged to, I don't want to meet them. It's very it's very big.
That's just a rib?
It's a rib. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Oh
Then that
no.
must mean that whoever this rib belonged to must be huge, right?
Mm-hmm. Very big.
Like a
Very,
giant?
very big.
Everybody we've met so far have been pretty small or decent sized. Okay, I guess we gotta watch out the more we go through.
Mm-hmm.
Case of giants.
Speaking of going through, which way do you want to go? We
That's
could
a good
go back
question.
down on this side, over here, or we could go all the way up here.
I'm feeling up. What do you
Yeah.
guys
Up?
think? Yeah,
Up.
let's
That's what I
go
was thinking
deeper.
too.
All right. Then you turn towards the northern tunnel, which starts kind of wide and then begins to narrow as you make your way along it. All right. Let's make our way across. So, as the three of you make your way down this dark tunnel, eventually the rocky walls begin to open on either side out into a large open cavern.
Oh.
It started so narrow, but now we're in such a big open space.
Finally, I can stretch my arms out.
Seeing the other path. I feel like this is a dead end over here.
Hmm.
Can I make a perception check?
Mm-hmm. What you looking for?
I'm gonna see if I could see the animal in front of me.
Yeah, very well. It wouldn't be too difficult. It's sort of maybe at the edges of of the torchlight.
Okay.
So you can kind of see maybe something sitting there, but you're not able to see what it is.
Guys, I think there's someone on that cliff over there.
Oh,
Someone
yeah.
alive?
Something. It's something. I don't know, but there's something there.
Let's go check it out.
Okay.
Hello?
Did
Can
you
you
did
hear
you
us?
actually call out like that, or is that a joke? Okay.
I will. Yeah, I'll say yes, I did.
Yeah. All you sort of get in response is just sort of a weak, just sort of a soft cough in the darkness.
Oh. Whoever's over there might need help.
Good thing I know.
Hello?
Yeah, it's a good thing we're here.
Excuse me.
So
Pardon me, can you hear us?
as you begin to make your way a little bit closer across this large open cavern, You can see sort of nestled among the vines and roots, sitting on kind of this raised kind of hill, and slumped against the wall is a rabbit. And
Oh.
he wears sort of a long blue scarf that is spattered with blood as he kind of half leans, half lies on the dirt and stone floor.
Ooh.
Hello? Are you okay?
You see him kind of blink in the torchlight and begin to cough again as he kind of looks up, a little bit startled towards the three of you. uh, did you kill it?
It? What's it?
The snake. You didn't kill it?
Oh.
The snake? Wait.
In the other room?
We didn't come across a snake.
It was an eel, right? Or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Eel. No, the massive serpent. You didn't kill it?
In the swamp or out of the swamp?
If you didn't kill it, then it's coming back.
Well, if it's on its way back, we'll go ahead and kill it.
We should probably get him out of here. Excuse me, you wouldn't happen to be Jasper, would you?
He starts to speak, but before he can even utter anything, suddenly you guys feel sort of the hairs along your neck bristle. And Clover, you're probably first to notice it, as...
Don't move. Don't move.
From off in the corner of the cavern, along sort of a tunnel, you see glowing eyes in the darkness.
We need to get him out of here. We need to get out of here.
Sir, if you can, I need you to stay behind us as much as possible.
The Jasper, the person lying on the floor, is sort of panicked. You can see his eyes are wide. No, it's coming back, and he's sort of kind of writhing and attempting to try to stand, but he's obviously a little too weak.
We need to carry him.
Duja, do you think you could carry him?
As you guys discuss that, you hear just a loud, low hiss permeate the cavern around you.
Do we have
Duja?
time? I can carry him. Do
Yeah.
we have time to run out of here?
Maybe.
Depending on how quick this thing is.
And
we
then
might, but
you hear a rattle that echoes along the cave walls. One of you has enough time to do one thing, and you can decide who does it.
can I use my entangle to because I see a lot of vines in here.
You can discuss amongst yourselves, sort of out of character.
Oh, okay.
But
What do you want to...
one of the three of you can do one thing.
Actually, I think the best thing to do right now, Duja, I think you need to just grab Jasper real quick. That way we know that he's safe in someone's arms.
Yeah, I would say let's grab him, and then if you need to run, run.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to throw Jasper on my back? Is he going to be able to hang on? And will I be able to use my two-handed weapons, or will I only have my one-handed one?
You could probably do sort of a piggyback thing. He's a little
Okay.
bit weak, so I would say if you got knocked around, he would fall off.
All right.
Your bag. Is your bag big enough for him?
Almost certainly not. He's a full-grown person. He's the same size as you guys.
Never mind, I don't know my sizes.
Okay, I'll let him piggyback. Jasper, just hop on. We'll protect you.
All right. So you're gonna have to kind of help him up a little bit and kind of pull at one of his arms to kind of yank him over your shoulder so that he can grab on a little bit more securely.
Mm.
But if that's what you want to do, in the time that you have before, as you hear this kind of loud grinding of dirt and stone as something slithers toward you. If that's what you want your action to be, then that can be it.
I think we all good with that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Very well. Then as Duja begins to kind of pull Jasper up onto her, into sort of a piggyback position so that she can carry him, the others you see slithering out of the large hole in the side of the cavern is a massive
Oh.
Ooh.
undead serpent. You can see sort of this skeleton showing through the damaged scales as it quickly rears up and hisses at the four of you. So, roll initiative.
We have to roll again.
What's that?
When it's a tie, do we have to roll again?
It'll just it'll alphabetical order you guys.
Okay.
Just picks whoever's first in the alphabet, including the enemies if they tie you.
Gotcha.
So it's all good. All right. You guys all got pretty close together rolls.
Yeah, we did.
So it's going to be kind of a bit of a chunk. So, now then, let's get into it. So as this undead serpent slithers from the cavern off to your left and begins to kind of rear itself up and hiss, and you hear that rattle again echo through the cave as it prepares to strike. Actually, first to act is Duja.
Hey, I'm. Okay, since I have him on my back, I'm just going to throw my javelin. And that's 21 to hit.
All right, you sort of pull one of the javelins from your kind of holster and hurl it across the cavern towards the serpent, and you do strike it with a 21.
And that is 7 damage.
Very well. All right. So, the javelin sort of strikes the side of this massive undead serpent and just sort of lodges in its side, piercing in between two of the scales and then sticking in it. So your javelin is now stuck in the beast. Is there anything else you want to do?
I think I'm okay for now.
Very well.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Then that brings us to Clover's turn.
I am going to use one of my spells.
Very well.
And I'm going to do Entangle.
All right. Then just give me 1 second.
Did I do that right? Ooh.
Ugh.
No,
All right.
fur.
So put it where you want it. You can move it around now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And then I'll put it on the back so that we can still see what we're doing. Entangle, what was that? Strength save? What is it?
It's a
Yeah. Strength save, and it's got to beat a 12. Let's refresh my brain on what the strength mod on this guy is. He's pretty strong. It's a giant serpent. But we'll give it a go. Did he have to beat a 12? Was that what I was beating?
I think so.
Okay. The serpent rolled exactly a 12.
Oh my god.
No.
No.
So, entangle. So it doesn't sort of get snared by those vines as you summon them up around them. They kind of grab at the side of the serpent, but they're not able to sort of wrap all the way around it, and so they sort of just slide off the side of this, of its slippery scales.
Gotcha.
Though, it is still difficult terrain, so you can still keep it concentrated to slow its movement at the very least.
Gotcha. So I have a question. For like a bonus attack, can I use a cantrip or no?
You can, as long as that cantrip is a bonus action to use.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of the way that works. It's one has to be an action, one has to be a bonus action. And then one has to, if you're going to use 2 spells on a turn, one has to be a cantrip and one has to be a leveled spell. It has to kind of, you have to mix them up like that.
Gotcha.
Can't do 2 leveled spells no matter what, even if they're action and bonus action.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the rest of you see vines kind of erupt out of the earth and kind of try to grasp at the serpent. Not able to hold it down, but able to kind of slow it slightly as it bears down on the 4 of you. And so if that's the end of your turn, Clover, is there anything else you want to do?
Yeah. No.
Because you have movement and all that, so keep that in
Oops, I
mind.
didn't mean to roll for that.
I'll move right here.
Very well. That brings us to Nightshade's turn. Now, you guys are all in a big clump together.
I'm gonna do an Eldritch Blast.
Very well. Then you level your focus at the undead serpent and fire off a bolt of purple light, which strikes the creature right in the face. Roll damage.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, okay.
It should be adding
Sounds-
that invocation already, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
All right.
I just saw 0. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, so 13 force damage. That's a high roll. It's sort of, you hit it directly in the face, and you actually sort of chip off one of the fangs as you send it sort of reeling backwards, and it lets out sort of a loud hiss-like shriek, and then levels its glowing eyes back toward you, enraged by the attack.
Yeah, that's right. Focus on me, big guy.
Is there anything else you want to do?
No, I think I'm good for now. I don't think I have anything else I can do.
Did you end up picking some stuff just when we were sitting in the before stream?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so I'll
picked
refresh your
Hellish
character
Rebuke.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. That's a good spell. Especially if you're pulling aggro right now.
Yeah, I didn't even intend this, so yeah, I did pick that.
Very well. And
And
then did you pick a... Oh, perfect. Alright, so you don't even need the torch anymore.
no, I do not.
Alrighty. Then you can see just fine in this darkness. So, if that is the end of your turn...
Yep.
Then initiative passes to the massive creature.
Ew.
which begins to slither towards you and actually has to use all of its movement just to make it to Nightshade because you slowed it down like that, Clover. So it can't move any further past this point to get to any of the others. So right now it can really only reach Nightshade as it rears up, ready to strike. So, it bears its fangs at you, and then with a sort of lightning fast motion, unleashes its fury upon you. And your AC is what, Matt? 14? Nice little shield. Hang on, let me flip to my page. Yes, 14.
Okay. Oh, yes. Now I see it.
Perfect. Okay. So that will hit you.
Okay.
And it is
Can
going to do. You can Hellish Rebuke this, but I'll calculate your damage first.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Just so that we don't confuse each other. So it's going to hit you for 6 piercing damage, and then make a con save for me.
Constitution. There it is.
Yes. All right. So, as it kind of sinks its fangs into you, you can actually see them drip with poison. And so you take the piercing damage, and then you feel kind of some of that poison begin to spread into your veins as you take another. At 1. That was the lowest possible roll. You take another 1 poison damage.
Oh, good.
So 7 total.
Okay.
Damage types don't really matter unless you guys have resistances. I just like to make sure you know what's causing you damage.
I'd like to go ahead and use a Hellish Rebuke.
Very well. That's a dex save for the serpent, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Then it's not particularly speedy snake. It's pretty big target. So it actually fails that save.
Okay.
So roll your full damage.
Looks like 16.
All right. Very well. Then as the massive undead serpent kind of begins to sink its fangs down into kind of your side there, and you see, the rest of you all see it just begin to erupt in these sort of hellish purple flames that spread along its scales and begin to burn at it. And the snake sort of immediately recoils from the strike that it just did on Nightshade and begins to kind of writhe, trying to put out the flames. And now you can see that even the bones and the scales are sort of scorched on this massive creature.
And that's what you get for messing with me.
So, that will be the end of the serpent's turn, which brings us to Duja once more.
I think... I'm just gonna... I'm gonna go up to it. Right here, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oops. I still want him on my back, but...
Yeah, I'll move him along with you.
I want to attack it with my great axe, which will do more damage.
Yeah, you have empty hands now. He's grabbing onto your back, and you've tossed your javelin, so you strike at it with your great axe, but you don't manage to...
Yeah, 5 to hit, I see.
don't manage to hit him. Well, usually what we do if it's a larger target is... It's not that you purely miss. You probably sort of glanced off the hardened scales.
Okay.
And didn't manage to sink it any deeper and do any real damage.
Rip. Okay. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it.
Very well. And that brings us to Clover's turn.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use one of my cantrips, and I'm going to do Frostbite on him.
Very well. All right. So that's a con save for the serpent.
Okay.
Let me double check its con modifier. Alrighty. So that was a 9, which does not beat your save, so it takes that 2 cool damage.
Okay. Do I do the effect as well?
Yeah, if it hits, then it takes the effect too. So the effect of frostbite is the disadvantage on its next attack. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. I did that wrong. Oops.
You already rolled the damage, so I'm taking the first
gotcha.
one.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so
But you don't have to click anything for the effects. I just meant yes, it does proc the effect.
Gotcha.
I didn't mean that you had to roll anything. Sorry. All right. So he is nice and frozen. So let's reflect that.
And I'm going to use. I'm going to do a bludgeoning quarterstaff hit on him.
Well, that would use an action, which you've already used for frostbite.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Most general attacks and stuff like that are actions.
Okay. Gotcha.
So you still have movement, and I guess you could heal if you wanted to, but other than that.
Does anybody need any healing?
I do.
How are you guys feeling?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
I'm poisoned, I think.
You're not poisoned. I would have had
Oh,
you
not
add the
poisoned.
effect, but you took some extra
Okay.
poison damage on each.
Yeah.
Each of the bites are dealing some extra poison damage if you don't have high constitution.
Okay.
But
I am.
you aren't actually poisoned, because that's the whole status effect.
Okay.
That'd be a nightmare if you're actually poisoned. Be getting
Okay.
disadvantage on every attack.
Oh no. But yeah, I could use some healing if you don't mind.
No problem. I got you.
Yes, the fangs of the serpent have sunk quite deep into Nightshade, so there's some heavy bleeding there.
I believe it's this one. Yeah. Okay, so I did my healing word on Nightshade.
All right. The Nightshade, you are healed for 4 hit points, so make sure you add those back.
There we go. Thank you,
And then,
Clover.
no problem. And where I move to, that's where I'm going to be.
Very well. Then, that brings us to Nightshade's turn.
Let's see. I think I'm going to... I can't quite remember. Am I able to do an Eldritch Blast from this close up, or would I have to get back more?
Can you just take disadvantage on it?
Okay. Since the snake is frozen, would I be able to move without?
It would mean that if the snake attempted to strike you when you ran away from it, it would have disadvantage on that strike. So it could still hit you, but it's less likely to.
Okay.
If you want to guarantee that you won't get hit at all, that'd be a disengage, which would use your action and make you not able to cast Eldritch Blast. So if you still want to attack after running away, it adds a little bit of risk. You do have to risk the Aeon.
In that case, I want to do the armor of Agathis? I don't know if I said that one right. Yeah.
Very well. It's been a very long time since someone's cast that spell. Let me just reread it to refresh it in my brain. Alright, so you gain 5 temp hit points, which on your character sheet is just to the right of health, so add that in the temp section.
Ah, I see it now.
And what that means is if you're damaged, it'll take away from that first. So you can do damage as normal. You don't have to subtract it from the temp health. It'll do it for you.
Okay, cool. And then I would like to attempt moving a little bit further away. Let me see here.
All right. Very well.
Let's see.
You've got a full 30 feet, so you can move as far as you want. The only thing that you can't do is move through enemies, really.
Yeah.
Move around them, but you just can't go through them because they're blocking the way.
Yeah.
You can move through allies. I allow that.
Okay.
Some DMs have it
So-
make it difficult terrain, but nobody takes up 5 feet horizontally, so...
Okay. Would I be able to go down 10 feet past Duja and then over and around it? Is that possible?
Yeah, that would pivot you all the way kind of around there. If you moved right to here, just taking that path, you wouldn't even take an A out.
Okay. Yeah.
It's only
I
when
will
you
do
move
that.
outside of its range that you take that opportunity attack.
Go ahead and move this way. Yeah. And I think I'm good.
Very well. All right. Then the serpent, passing the initiative to the serpent, it is going to turn towards I think Duja,
Oh no.
and you can kind of see this skeletal sort of half-rotten rattle at the end of its tail as it's kind of coiled up in front of you, and it's going to attempt to just sort of slam you with the tail with one large sweep. And as it kind of sweeps towards you, Duja, you actually realize that it is sweeping sort of like this entire area, not just you.
Okay.
So it's sweeping everything in front of you. So had Nightshade not moved, you estimate she would have also gotten hit. So let's make some rolls. Let me double check.
I'm nervous.
All right, that is going to hit you. And it's going to hit you for... it's going to hit you for 6 bludgeoning as it sort of slams into your side.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll to see if Jasper falls off. So we're going to roll a d20, and he has to, let's say he has to beat a 14.
Okay.
Alright, so Jasper falls off. As you're slammed, and you kind of are knocked sideways, Duja, Jasper falls from your back and kind of rolls slightly on the ground.
Oh, Jasper.
And that will be the end of the Serpent's turn, which brings us to your turn, Duja.
Okay, I'm gonna go and try for the great axe again. Hopefully it doesn't fail me.
Sorry, it did roll that with disadvantage. It just still hit, Duja. Let me get rid of that. There we go.
Well, okay, I guess.
Is that another another nat one?
I don't know what's.
That
It's
was
just,
twice in a row. You just rolled the lowest possible thing you could on that dice.
I feel like I never really had the chance to use my great axe. Maybe it's just never meant to be.
Perhaps maybe you're. It's not like you have a low modifier there or anything. It's just that's just pure luck. That's the
Yeah.
universe just telling you it's not meant to be right now. But you're maybe a little bit still off balance from the strike you just received. So you attempt to swing in rebuttal, but you miss.
Am I able to kind of bring Jasper back and I guess retreat a little bit?
Well, you used your action to to strike the snake, even though you missed.
Mhm.
I would say probably it's a little bit much to pick him back up again and get him
Okay.
back in the same position. But where you're standing right now, you are sort of like blocking the snake from him. You're sort of
Okay.
standing over him. He's kind of behind you, so you are sort of still protecting him where you're standing. You're a large Loxodon.
Okay. As long as he's protected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no way that the snake would suddenly go around you to attack him when you're standing right in front of it. So you're definitely sort of still shielding Jasper. He's just on the ground instead of on your back, so we won't move you with you anymore until you
Okay.
pick him back up. But you just use your actions, so you still have movement and bonus actions, so you can decide what you want to do.
Um, 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 um. Did we decide who had the health potion? Should I give that to Jasper? And then maybe he'll be able to kind of find a safe place on his own.
I believe that Yuri had the health potion, so since Yuri stole it, so let's just do it randomly.
Okay.
Each of you pick a number between 1 and 3. Actually, we'll just do Nightshade is 1, Duja is 2, and Clover is 3. And we'll just roll 1d3. Alright, Nightshade has it.
Okay. All right, then I
Uh,
guess I won't do anything. I don't really know what else I want to do, so.
Well, you have your bonus action, so you could rage.
Oh, should I do that? Okay, I'll go into a rage then.
Alrighty. Angry.
Ah, my great axe!
Just very mad that you kept missing, yeah?
I'm so embarrassed! Okay, and yeah, that's it.
Alright. I added the potion of healing to Nightshade's inventory, so if you refresh, you should be able to find it. If you want to know how
Okay,
much healing it does and all that.
Thank
Alright.
you, thank you.
So, Duja, you end your turn, and that passes us along to Clover. So Duja was just slammed by the serpent's tail, knocking both her and Jasper flying. What do you do in retaliation?
I get upset and then
Yeah, can I go into a rage too, Tia?
I get upset and I'm just like, okay, you mean snake you, and I cast Entangle again. Hopefully to
You can
like
still move it, so
actually
just move it.
Oh, okay.
You
Bet.
still have control of it, so move it where you want it now.
Gotcha. So I cast it again.
Alright, I'll make it save.
Yeah. Wait, does that mean that Duja's entangled too?
It will. Duja will have to make the save. But Duja does have high strength. But you can place it there, yeah, and then Duja won't have to make a save.
Earth.
Alright, this time it fails its save.
Yes.
So this time, as it's kind of, as it sort of lowered its body a bit to the ground to strike Duja, the vines erupt out of the earth and begin to wrap around it, this time a lot higher, and manage to sort of grab the snake and hold it as it kind of begins to struggle against them.
Stay put, you. And then I want to
Oh, hang on. This is just to remind us that you're concentrating on something.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to do it. But...
I run to Duja right here, and then I do my healing word.
Healing word or bomb of the summer court or whatever you want.
Oh, because I think I've already done that.
I think you have several of them, but I don't know
I
how
have
many you have left.
2.
It's on you. you keep track of that. Should have probably at least one left. I think you only used it once. I think you have 2 of them total.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Yeah, I'll
D6.
go
So
ahead and do-
it's just depends
I'll go
on
ahead and
if
do
you want to use spell slots or not, right?
Yeah, because this is I mean, they're both bonus actions.
Yeah, it's just one would
I'll
not
go
use a
ahead
spell
and-
slot. You could also actually. Oh no, never mind. That's a. Oh, that's brutal roll.
Well,
All right, Duja, you receive 1 healing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How are you feeling? You feeling good tonight?
The paper cut that you suffered yesterday, that's all gone.
I helped.
But the bruised ribs, they're still there, but at least that paper cut's gone.
Just looking out for you.
Thank you.
I mean, technically, it does kind of like in the encounter tracker, it does bring Duja out of the flashing red health pool to the normal icon. So I guess that kind of looks like it did a lot. Is there anything else you want to do, Clover?
I give finger guns and just kind of like, yeah, I did something.
Very well, then that brings us to Nightshade.
Yeah, that's it.
I would like to. How far do I have to get to cast Eldritch Blast without disadvantage? Is it
All you have to do is just 5 feet away. So just
5 feet?
put any amount of, just basically 1 square in between you and the serpent in any direction.
I'm going to attempt to move 1 square first. And then I think that will activate the serpent, correct?
Yes. But let me just double check something.
Feeling confident with my armor, so.
I just want to double check the wording on something. Alright, yes, okay, perfect. That's what I thought it was. I just wanted to make sure. So it's actually going to get disadvantage on that because of Entangle.
Excellent.
So it's going to attempt to strike you, but it rolled a 5, so it does not hit you.
Excellent. Okay.
When I
So
see that, I'm
it's
just
sort
like,
of-
you stayed there.
Yeah, actually, it's sort of you see it try to lunge at Nightshade as she turns to run, to move away from the creature, but your vines kind of hold it back, and it kind of struggles against them, but isn't able to make any headway.
Nightshade sticks her tongue out at the serpent and goes, bleh, and then goes, good job, Clover.
Yeah.
Now it's time for an Eldritch Blast.
All right, do it. A 9 unfortunately does not hit.
Darn.
No.
Okay.
No, the confidence.
Whoops.
It glances off the creature's scales and doesn't manage to sink in and do any damage. Is there anything else you want to do?
Am I able to intimidate the beast at all to have it focus more on me rather than Clover or Duja?
There's no sort of mechanical thing unless you're casting specific spells, which I don't think are typically something that you have access to right now. There's things like Compel Duel and all that, but at the moment, you don't really have the ability to do that. But I usually sort of allow good roleplay to influence mechanics a lot of the time. So if there's like any sort of thing you can think of that you think would bait the snake at you instead of the target right in front of it, especially while it's being held back at the moment, it's probably going to focus on things right in front of it just because it's being restrained, right? So if there's anything you can think of that would make the snake focus on you, then you can feel free to suggest that to me, and I might have it make some sort of save based on that. But mechanically, there's nothing that you could just go look up on how to do right now. But if you can think of something creative to do, then I'm fully open to it.
Hey, Nightshade, tell him that he's ugly.
Maybe I will.
Do skeletal snakes speak common?
Hey, you!
Have to find out.
Your breath is stinky and your eyes suck and you're scaly and dumb!
Yeah, you tell him.
Yeah.
I think that it not speaking common is probably good enough for that to not really have much effect.
To add to it, Nightshade also does a little like mocking dance at the snake, like you can't get me.
It's also sort of feral. at this moment in time.
Is
So
there a
it,
rock I could pick up and throw at it?
You could attempt that, but I would say probably the massive vines wrapping around it are its first priority over anything else right now.
Okay.
I don't think a rock hitting it would change its mind in any regard at this point.
Well, you never know. Okay. I'm good.
Good
then.
attempt, though. Good RP. Hang on, let's do the good RP thing since we always forget to do it. There we go. Very well. Then that brings us to the serpent's turn, and it will attempt to. I forget if it uses its action again. Let me double check. Yes, it does. Okay. So it's going to attempt to escape this turn and sort of wrench those roots right out of the ground. With a 20, a dirty 20, it does so. So this time it pulls those roots right out and manages to free itself from its restraints, though your vines do remain on the ground around it, which will kind of stop it from moving quickly. But it did use its action that turn to do that, so that's actually the end of its turn.
Sick.
Which brings us to Duja.
Okay. Third time's the charm. Hopefully, I'm gonna try again with the great axe. Okay, let's see.
Don't forget your reckless attack if you want to. There's no possible way. That's broken. No, there's something
Wow.
wrong with the VR.
Wow, wow.
That can't be possible, right? Roll it just for curiosity's sake. Roll one more time.
Okay.
There's
Wow.
no way.
Wow.
Oh my god.
How is that even remotely possible?
They just want me to look like a fool.
That's the first
blame
time that has ever
Jasper.
happened.
I blame Jasper.
Oh man. Okay, well, I guess.
Apparently, Jasper is a bad luck charm. That rabbit paw really not working out, huh?
Oh my goodness.
I still have the reckless attack, right? Am I able to use that, or is that
I think that's something you do before.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I guess I'll just I guess I leave it at that. I don't know.
Absolutely brutal. Alrighty. Then I suppose that brings us to Clover.
Okay, so even though he busted out, I'm going to use Frostbite again.
Very
Since
well.
it is a cantrip.
Yeah.
Um,
No spell slots required.
yeah.
Alright, we'll make another con save for the snake. Which it also fails. I got a 10, so it did not beat your 12.
Yeah.
So it is frozen up, and it takes. Let's actually let me double check something. All right, perfect.
And I'm going to do another healing word on Duja.
Very well.
Oh. Thank you.
Duja, you were restored for 5 hit points.
Deidre gives a smile, but she still looks quite evidently pissed off about the whole great
It's
axe.
just like angry eyes and a big smile. I like slowly give a thumbs up, like, okay. Alright.
She's huffing.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So you patch up some of Duja's wounds, but actually the 5 cold damage that you dealt to actually you still have. So you got this concentration. Now that I think about it, how long does that last? Oh, less than an hour. You still got this, yeah.
A minute. Oh, is it an hour? For the entangle?
No. I was talking about Armor of Gathis for Nightshade. I
Oh,
wanted to
oh.
double check to see if it was concentration, but you're all good.
Oh, okay.
All right, so the 5 cold damage that is dealt to the massive serpent, actually, as you see sort of frost begin to spread across the skull as Clover damages it. You see sort of those glowing beady eyes, kind of almost like completely frost over as it kind of struggles and writhes, and then it actually just sort of collapses down to the ground. You can see sort of some of the bones and scales kind of fall apart as it begins to collapse.
hey there. And I am. Oh,
Ah, hang on. Someone's at my door and they're being persistent. Sorry,
Okay,
one
you
second.
can run and take care of that quick. Actually, we might as well just do a little 2-minute break then.
sounds good.
Sounds good.
Just a short little break, and we will BRB in just a minute, chat. So stay tuned and take a quick bathroom break or grab a snack, whatever you need to do, and we'll be right back. All right, chat. I'm back.
As am I.
We're just taking a 2-minute break if you missed that when you ran to the door.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's just a good opportunity. We might as well do it while we're waiting anyway. So
Okay.
we'll just
Yeah,
wait for everybody to get back, and then we'll continue from where we left off.
Okay, sounds good.
How's your day going, chat? Good until the snake showed up? Yeah.
I'm back.
Alright. Still, I guess, just missing Lolo. Save some platforming time, yeah. Just ride this thing. Befriend it.
Yak.
Alright, we're all back now?
Yes, I got
Okay.
a donut.
Perfect. So, as you see kind of the skull of this giant serpent frost over from Clover's attack, and it kind of shudders and writhes and then kind of collapses in on itself as the bones begin to fall apart. You actually see something else as well, the three of you. You see this large sort of shadowy mass within the hollows of this serpent's massive rib cage. And sort of particles of this shadow begin to kind of flutter like ash through the air as the serpent's skeleton begins to move again. And at first it just sort of begins to twitch and kind of shudder slightly. And then you see, still lying on the dirt, its giant skeletal maw open wide once more. And crawling out of the mouth, like a serpent shedding its skin, comes another creature.
Oh.
Going.
Resembles the serpent itself, but this time it is slightly smaller, but serpentine as well. Formed almost entirely from shadow, with glowing purple eyes. As whatever was possessing this massive undead serpent emerges. So,
Looks like a shade.
back into the initiative order.
Oh.
The same one.
Indeed.
Okay.
So, as this other creature emerges and sort of turns its glowing, unfeeling eyes towards the four of you, Clover, you just ended your turn, so that brings us to Nightshade.
Oh, okay. Well, sorry, I thought you said to roll initiative again. My bad.
No,
Um,
we're just gonna use the same order just to save time.
Well, let's go with the
This is
classic.
More of a
Eldritch?
phase 2 than a new fight.
Okay. Let's go with Eldritch Blast this time again.
Very well. Roll to hit.
Come on, big number.
Hmm?
15 hits.
Okay.
Roll damage.
Come on, more big numbers.
Another 13. Nice. Alright, so you sort of smash it right in the face, and sort of you see these particles of shadow go flying off of it, scattering out into the cavern around you. But it sort of quickly begins to kind of form itself back together.
What the heck is this thing?
Anything else, Nightshade?
Boop, boop, boop. I am. Let me see. Yeah, I'm fine at the moment. I think I'm good now.
Very well.
In my turn.
Then that brings us to the Shade-Borne Serpent. And it turns those sort of hollow, empty purple eyes
Whoa.
toward, let's see, toward Clover.
What beautiful eyes you have.
And as it sort of meets your gaze, you sort of feel this sort of blinding pain, sort of like a blinding headache all of a sudden, a migraine, just sort of appear as you sort of feel yourself fixated on these eyes. So make a wisdom save for me.
Wisdom. Wisdom. Ooh, my head.
All right, so you save, and so rather than taking the full damage, you will instead only take 6 psychic damage. As this sudden headache just sort of blinds you. Take 6 psychic damage, and then also, because you're concentrating on something, make a con save for me. All you have to beat is a 10 to keep. Well, it just keeps entangle up. All right, entangle is gone.
Well,
it wasn't entangling this creature anyway, but just it's gone now. So if you can help me remember those things, anytime you're taking damage, if you have that brain symbol, you need to make a con save.
Okay.
And all you have to beat is a 10. So,
Okay.
it causes this curse to afflict you as it stares deeply into your eyes, and that will bring us to Duja's turn.
Okay. As tempting as it is to try for my great axe again, I'm gonna try a hand axe. That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
And 6 damage.
Alright, you sort of sink that axe into the side of this creature, and you can't even really see scales anymore. Instead, just sort of pure black abyss.
Ooh.
But you sink your axe into it, and it sort of lodges in there as you kind of pull it back. More of the sort of shadowy ashes begin to disperse out into the air, and again it starts to kind of pull some of them back to form itself again.
Ooh, you're kind of fun to slash.
Is there anything else you want to do, Tuja?
I think I'm okay.
Let me double check something. I don't think that D&D Beyond manages your rages. Like, it has those boxes for you to check them off, but I don't think it automatically applies anything. So I think you actually had +2 damage to that one.
Cool.
So that was actually an 8 from your rage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Let me just reflect that. Perfect. Okay. So unless there's anything else you want to do, Duja?
No. I think I'm good.
Very well. Yes, just the human. The red is rage. Duja's not dead.
It feels like I am after all those great axe attacks.
All right. So, immediately after Duja strikes it, the Shade-Borne Serpent actually quickly disappears, sort of dissipating out into those particles of shadow. For just a moment before it reconstitutes itself elsewhere. And that brings us to Clover's turn.
So I have a question. With my beast shape, am I able to turn into the serpent that we just fought?
No. For starters, it was undead. And secondly, it would be too high of a CR.
Gotcha. Okay. So, what I'm going to do... How are you guys feeling right now? Are you guys feeling okay?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Not you, Jasper. Sorry.
He's just sort of like still kind of half conscious, just lying on the ground, kind of moaning and sort of breathing heavily.
And none for Gretchen Wiener, spy. So I'm gonna move where I did, and
Mhm.
I'm going to
You move your
I'm
way
going to
towards
attempt
the serpent, and
I'm gonna attempt frostbite again.
very well.
On it.
All right, let's make a con save. This time it succeeds with
Well.
a 16. So I don't think it takes the damage at all, right? It's not one of those.
Mm-mm.
If it still took damage on a success, it wouldn't be a cantrip. All right, so it manages to ward off the effects of your frost.
I don't think I could do. Oh well. Yeah, because that was my action. I'm gonna use healing word on myself. Actually.
Very well.
Beep 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 beep.
All right. You cast the healing magic, healing druidic magic, as you begin to shore up some of your injuries from the psychic attack you were just dealt. Is that the end of your turn?
And can I still move or no?
Yeah, as long as you didn't use up all your movement, which I don't think you did.
No, I don't.
I don't know how much you used, but you can tell me.
I was right here, so I
I
did.
believe so. Yeah.
10
So you
feet.
still have 20 feet of movement, I think, unless you're 25.
I'm gonna.
I forget
go
what your total.
there.
You actually have 25.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right here.
Very well. Then, if that's the end of your turn, then it's now Nightshade's turn.
Okay. Alright. I want to start by moving a little closer. Too close, but just a little bit. Right there. And once again, let's try this Eldritch Blast.
Very well. Roll to hit. That will hit.
Okay. Come on, big number.
Nice.
Alright, 12 damage. Yet again, you strike the creature with a bolt of purple light and sort of send those scattering particles across the cavern. As you sort of you blow off sort of half of its face and part of its jaw, and then it sort of reconstitutes itself back into a flimsier form. So now you can sort of see some damage where some of the particles have kind of dispersed. It's sort of missing chunks of its head, but it is still very much still alive.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wish to do?
No.
Very well. And that brings us to the Shade-Borne Serpent's turn, who kind of rears up with its head and then spits a large globule of sort of purple ooze at you, Nightshade. I don't think I need to measure that. Yeah, you're all good. So, that'll be a ranged spell attack. Let's see if we hit. That was a 17, which does hit you. And it's going to hit you for... that is going to hit you for 8 necrotic damage.
Okay.
So it hits you with this sort of globule of necrotic spit, and you feel sort of this pain begin to spread where it lands, as if it's sort of burning at you like acid.
Oof. Okay. Am I able to do another Hellish Rebuke, or was that only like a one-time dealio?
I think it just uses your spell slots, right? You learned it as a spell, so it just uses your spell slots. So as long as you have a spell slot to use, then you should be good. I think you used Armor, Gathis, and Hellish Rebuke, so I think you might be out.
Okay.
You can keep track of them on your character sheet, right? The little checkboxes next to Pact.
Oh, okay. So I've used armor.
Yeah,
Okay.
anytime you cast a spell from the first level group, cantrips don't matter, you can cast as many as them you want, but anytime from the first level group, it uses those 2 first level spell slots. So any of those 3 spells will use 1 spell slot, so you just check them off like checkboxes.
Okay.
Just to
Okay,
keep track
nice.
of what you have left, how many more spells you can cast that day.
Okay.
Alrighty. So you Eldritch Blasted, which was an action, you don't have any bonus actions, so unless you're running around, then you can end your turn here. Up to you.
Yes, that is fine. Actually, wait. Wait, is it my turn? That was the serpent's
sorry,
turn.
no.
Am I crazy?
No. That was my bad. My bad. I was
Okay,
confused because
okay.
you were talking about Hellish Rebuke, and I thought it was your turn, but it's because it was your action. I just got confused because I was talking about your character sheet. That's why it's not your turn.
Okay.
It is instead Duja's turn.
Okay, I'm quite far away, so let's see. Gonna throw my javelin.
Very well. I think.
No, that'd be 12 to hit.
A 12 to hit. Let me double check it. See, it was in Nightshade's character sheet. A 12 does not hit.
Ah! Okay. Then I'll use the remaining
I
of
will
my
say
action.
the javelin clatters to the floor over here.
I can run up to 20 feet, right?
I believe. Yeah, you have full 30.
Oh, full 30. Maybe
You
I'll
have moved,
go
so you got all your 30.
back over here. I'm gonna run over to wait. How far are you? Where was I gonna go? Okay. Oop. Go ahead and run over here. And yeah, just so we can kind of get it surrounded.
Very well. Alrighty. Then that will be the end of your turn. And that brings us to Clover.
Okay. Okay, guys. I want to do something, but it might hurt you guys if I do.
Okay.
Feeling
Should I
pretty
do it?
sturdy. I think.
Okay. Okay. Nightshade, what about you?
Wait. I'm sorry. What's going on again?
I want to do something since he's pretty far. But it might hurt you guys. Just might.
I
It might not.
trust
but
you.
it might.
Same.
Okay.
I
Go
feel like
for
I
it.
should be fine.
I see.
So brace yourselves, cause I'm gonna do ice knife.
Alrighty. Then we'll make a dex save. Which it fails.
And then I also have to make a save throw too, right?
No.
No.
So you make the damage roll's already been made, I believe.
I think so.
So you rolled really low on that D10 for the initial damage. So basically, what Ice Knife does is you fire the Ice Knife at a creature, which you chose the enemy, of course, and then it explodes. So it explodes at any point within 5 feet. Now this is sort of a big creature, so I would have you sort of, if it mattered, I would have you pick which square you're aiming it at, since this is a large creature. And so basically any point within those 5 feet, right?
Okay.
That's where it
So
shatters. So hit or miss, even if it succeeded on the save, it's still going to take a little bit of extra damage at the end. But what the save is for that first D10. So whether or not it would take the 1 piercing, basically. So it failed it, so it's going to take the 1 piercing plus. Actually, no, sorry. The dex save is for that. My bad. You hit it. The dex save is for the second half. My bad. I was mixing that up. I forgot that it's both a to hit and a save. So it's gonna take the full thing.
Gotcha.
Essentially, if Duja was standing within 5 feet, it would have hit Duja as well with the second half, the cold part. But
Okay.
it's no one is within remotely that amount of distance.
Perfect.
It's just 5 feet, right?
Awesome.
So if Duja was
yeah.
up close, then it would have been harder to do, but
Gotcha.
because everybody's far away, it's the perfect opportunity to use it. So it's going to take the full 10,
Yay.
1 piercing and 9 cold. So you sort of fire this knife of ice across the cavern, and it sort of lodges into the creature, into the side of its head, and then as it sort of sticks there for just a second, right as it begins to kind of turn its head towards you, that little knife of ice just explodes and sends these shards of sharp shrapnel everywhere,
When
and
he
kind of
turns his
blows
head, I
off
just
part
give,
of
like,
its
a
head, yeah.
wave.
As it kind of turned towards you, it just blows off part of its head, and now it's sort of struggling to pull back in those shadowy particles to reconstitute itself, but now it's sort of missing one of its eyes entirely, as it looks quite damaged from all of the attacks that you three have done. So, yeah, is there anything else, Clover?
What I want to do is are you guys feeling okay? Do you
Yes.
need any healing at all?
I'm doing fine.
I could maybe use a little bit.
A little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and use my healing word on a Nightshade.
Very well. Nightshade, you're healed for 5 hit points.
Ah, thank you, Clover.
How many
problem.
how many spell slots do you have left? I haven't been keeping track of your spell slot.
I am completely out. So that ice knife was my last one. Because I did entangle twice and then ice knife.
If Ice Knife was your last one, then you can't cast Healing Word.
Oh, not bonus action?
No, bonus action still costs us a spell slot. We should have. I probably should have clarified that because maybe you haven't been keeping track of that the whole time. But I think I sort of started to clue in that maybe you're using too many spell slots than I thought you had. But
Yeah.
I probably should have brought it up slightly earlier, so it's my fault. But we'll say right now you're out of spell slots.
Okay.
So you get those ones for free because I didn't call them out.
Okay.
Just because when the Dream Druids are bouncing back and forth between their Balms of the Summer Court and their Cure Wounds and their Healing Words and stuff, I just lose track of it, so I just let them do it. But so just so you're aware, as long as it's in that first level category, it'll always use a spell slot no matter what. The only thing that won't use a spell slot for those ones, and second and higher and all that, the only thing that doesn't use spell slots is if it has a little R in the diamond next to it, where you kind of see a C next to Entangle. If it has an R instead, that means it's ritual cast, and you could cast it over 10 minutes to not use a spell slot. But that doesn't really apply to anybody right now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, as long as it's not in the cantrip section, it'll always use a spell slot, even if it's a bonus action. Bonus action just means that you can use it on the same turn that you did something else. That's the appeal of the
Okay.
bonus action.
Gotcha.
All right. So the one thing I will say is we'll take away the health that you just did.
Okay.
So whoever just healed for 5, damage yourself for 5.
Yeah, I already did.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So you're out of spell slots now.
Okay.
We'll say that Ice Knife was your last. So you still have movement and stuff. It's still technically your turn, but
I was gonna move away from Jasper, but I'm gonna move in front of him instead
very well.
because I didn't want anything to happen.
Then, if that's the end of your turn,
Yes.
then the Shade-Borne Serpent is going to use its legendary action to interrupt the turn order once again and act right now. And with that legendary action, it is going to recast that curse that it did before on Clover, this time on Duja.
Oh.
So this time you see those kind of hollow purple eyes meet yours, Duja, and it's going to attempt to damage you. So make a wisdom save for me.
Uh, 11.
All right, 11 is insufficient.
Ah.
So you are going to take the full 14 psychic damage.
Oh. Okay. I am very, very hurt.
As you feel your head just sort of all of a sudden pound with this intense, blinding migraine.
I guess Deidre kind of stumbles a little bit, and she's trying to stop herself from falling over in pain.
Yeah, so the rest of you sort of see Duja kind of stumble and hold her head, as you can now kind of see, Duja, you have like a blood kind of pouring from your trunk as a nosebleed.
Traveling such a long way.
And that will end the legendary action and bring us to Nightshade's turn.
Okay. We're gonna do another Eldritch Blast.
Very well. Roll to hit. 15 hits.
Okay. Come on, big number. Gotta avenge Duja.
Alright. 9 force damage. Blasts another large chunk off the creature. This time it loses multiple fangs as you sort of blast another part of its head. And now it looks significantly wounded. It's sort of missing huge chunks from its body as it attempts to slither around. And it's got part of its head completely missing now as it kind of struggles to reform those shadowy ashes that float throughout the cavern. So deeply wounded, but still writhing. Is there anything else you want to do, Nightshade?
Make sure it's me. Do I have to be right next to Duja to use the potion of healing, or?
Yeah, unless you want to throw it, but bottles are made of glass.
Yeah.
And if you were to throw it, then Duja would have to use it on Duja's turn.
Yeah, and I'm too far. That is not. See if I have any other options.
I think with Eldritch Blast as your action, I think that's everything you can.
Yeah,
You have some other Fey abilities, but I think those use actions too.
Yeah, no, that's it for me.
Very well. Then that will bring us to the Shade-Borne Serpent, who will rear back and attempt to spit in its sort of desperate death throes, another globule of necrotic energy, this time at Duja.
Uh,
Oh.
All right. That was a 5. So that does not hit you.
Thank goodness.
Oh.
Actually, Duja, this serpent spits this globule of necrotic poison at you, and you manage to quickly sort of dive out of the way of it as it hits the dirt beside you. And so, as you duck out of the way of it, what do? It's your turn now.
Okay, I am going to use my hand axe. 18 to hit.
All right, you heft your hand axe and arc it through the air at the serpent. Roll your damage.
3 damage. Another one.
Perfect.
Oh no.
Perfect. So, as you sort of heft your hand axe and then arc it through the air, it flies towards the serpent as it kind of bares its fangs at you, ready to strike again. And it lodges sort of firmly in between its eyes, just sort of right in the forehead. And you see the serpent just sort of pause as it's struck suddenly by your hand axe, and it sort of twitches slightly. As you can see all these shadowy particles kind of try to form up around the axe and sort of repair the damage that's been done. But
Hey!
all the missing pieces that it currently has, all these chunks that have been taken out of it, are too much for it, and it can't actually heal any of the damage. And so as it's sort of trying to form all these particles around it, they just begin to kind of disperse out into the air around, and you see this massive sort of cloud of shadow begin to erupt from the creature as it sort of twitches and thrashes across the floor of the cavern. And then all of a sudden, it just sort of explodes into this massive burst of shadow, into this cloud that almost darkens the entire room. Only Nightshade is able to see with your see-through magical darkness ability.
Special eyes.
Oh,
And so,
my
Nightshade,
brand.
you see just sort of as this thing bursts into a massive cloud of shadow, you see just at the very center of it, this tiny little purple sort of orb that just sort of melts down into the dirt and disappears. And as the cloud disperses and the rest of you are able to see again, the Shade-Borne Serpent is gone,
Oh,
Oh,
Duja looks
leaving
surprised.
behind Duja's hand axe on the ground.
I need that. Duja picks it
What?
up. I thought he was going to consume it.
Can I?
can I? Oh, sorry.
No, you go
Uh,
first.
well, I was gonna ask if I could do mending on Duja, since it is a cantrip.
It's a cantrip, but it affects inanimate objects, basically. It's for mending tiny little things. It's not a healing spell.
mm,
It's useful for, like, let's say there's a rusted lock. You could remove the rust and then maybe it would open, things like that. Or let's say there was like a character who was devastated that their favorite tunic was ripped. Then you could fix it for them and maybe they'd reward you. Things like that is what kind of that
Gotcha.
cantrip's for, but it's not an actual healing spell since there's no value beside it. If it was a healing spell, it would have
Gotcha.
a number next to it that you could roll.
Okay.
Single breaks and tears, kind of small little things. I let people stretch it a little bit just to kind of, like, as long as it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it can't be any larger than like a foot in any dimension. So I think Duja's a little bit bigger.
Gotcha.
Nightshade pulls out the potion of healing and is like, I think you need this, Duja.
Oh, thank you. Duja, her hand's kind of shaking, but she grabs it and I guess chugs the potion.
All right, Nightshade. So in the item description there, it'll actually show you how much that potion can restore.
Says a character who drinks the magical red fluid in this vial gains 2d4 plus to be hit points. So how do I roll for that?
So they haven't quite added a consumable roller function on D&D Beyond yet, which they might have add eventually. But you can. Oh, did you manage to do it?
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a
you
little.
clicked consume and it did it for you. Perfect. Okay, then never mind. They're already ahead of me. I thought they hadn't added it, but I guess they already done it. Perfect. So that'll just heal Duja instead.
Okay, for 6. All right, he's a little bit better, but still not super sturdy. But
Yeah, you feel some of that pounding headache begin to fade, and your trunk you stop your nosebleed. Still
oh
wounded,
man,
but feeling a lot better. And basically out of combat with rages, they last very short amounts of time when you're not fighting things. So I basically always deactivate it after a fight.
okay,
Are you able to stand okay?
yeah, I think I should get it. I should be fine. Uh,
Okay.
let me go over and pick up Jasper.
Okay, just don't strain yourself. In the meantime,
I can
Nightshade's
carry him too. If it's gonna be too much for you.
Should be okay.
What were you gonna say,
Jasper,
Nightshade?
little buddy.
In the meantime, Nightshade, can I roll a perception check to see if the thing that I was able to witness with my special eyes yields any information about the creature?
Yeah, I would say perception or arcana.
Okay. My Arcana is definitely lower, so I'm gonna do perception.
Very well.
Oh.
All right. As to the origin of what it might have been, you aren't able to determine, but I think this would be fairly obvious, so it would have a very, very low DC. So I think as you sort of examine the area where you saw that, there's sort of a large burned area of the dirt, sort of this darkened, distorted part of the dirt. But any sign of that purple object is completely gone.
Nightshade is a bit disappointed, unable to find the orb, but decides that eventually the truth shall reveal itself. And instead goes up to make sure Duja and Clover are doing okay. And Jasper too.
So,
Oh,
over near Jasper, he's still sort of lying kind of slumped where he fell from Duja's back. And he's still awake. He's kind of blinking and sort of bleary-eyed. But you can see that he, now examining him a little bit closer, now that you're not as stressed out by the giant snake, you can see that he has sort of a large fang wound sort of deep in one of his sides. And these sort of veins that kind of are distended along parts of his neck.
We need to get him to someone quick.
Yeah,
I try to get him back to the
I think that would be the best course.
Can I do so? I wanted to see if I could like look at the corpse of the snake.
Yeah. So yeah, is there a check that you want to do specifically to look for something specific, or just sort of taking a look at it? Because I can just describe it for you.
Any well, I guess like a medicine check to like see if because I know that there was like poison and everything that it was using.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to see if I could like get some of the poison to make some sort of like, I don't know, like medicine or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could do a medicine check for that. And then depending on that, there might be some other stuff that I can tell you about the undead serpent.
Well,
Brutal.
that's a corpse. And I walk back over here.
So you've now kind of been left in this far quieter cavern, with, of course, these sort of divots in them where the swamp is sort of sitting. But there is still sort of that side rocky cavern where the serpent did crawl out of, slither out of when it first attacked you. And then, of course, there's the path back where you came. Actually, Clover, from where you're standing right now, it's sort
Uh-huh.
of far off in the distance, and you can't quite see exactly what it is, but you can see something kind of glowing at the end of this tunnel here. It has this sort of very rich blue glow.
Hey
Not even
guys,
remotely
don't
close to the
hate me.
orange eyes of the snake or the purple eyes of the Shade-Borne Serpent.
It's more welcoming, you're saying?
Well, it doesn't resemble. I won't tell you what, but it doesn't resemble those two colors. It is something new entirely.
Hey guys, don't hate me or anything, but there's something in this cave.
Oh
Like-
no.
Another
Um,
snake.
It's not bad eyes from what I can see. They're blue eyes.
Blue.
Blue. Very tranquil.
Am I able to see a little further down the cave?
Yeah, so you can see sort of the whole tunnel itself, Nightshade. And then sort of at the end of it, you can see that it seems to kind of open up a little bit, and there's some sort of large blue glowing mass on the floor of the cavern, though you're not really able to determine what it is from this distance. It's certainly not two glowing eyes in the darkness. It's
It looks
something kind
like
of larger across the floor.
Oh, okay. I think we might be able to get out from here. It looks like there's
Oh.
light at the battle at the there's a light coming from further down the tunnel. The blue though doesn't appear to be eyes. I can't quite make out what it is, but I'm not thinking it's an enemy.
Well, if it's not eyes, then it's not a creature. So I'm in.
Check it out. Jasper?
Maybe
Yes. What's happening? Is it dead?
Yes, we're gonna get you out of here. Got some questions to ask you, actually.
Good. Did you find the key?
I was about to ask you about that. You know of the key? Did you have it when you came in here?
I did, but I was exploring the tunnels, and well, I'd crawled back into a narrow one, and I saw this blue light, and I was going towards it, and then that's when the snake attacked me. I think I
So-
might have dropped the key because it's not in my pockets.
You think it's by the blue light?
Well, that's when I last had it.
Alright. Well, we see the blue light. Let's go check it out. It's this tunnel that you're at, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, let's go pick it up. You know someone got arrested, accused of stealing the key, even though you stole it?
They did. Who?
You know of Suri? The little human girl?
Yeah, that weird girl.
I think you owe her an apology.
Uh,
Come on my back.
sounds like it. If I ever get back.
Don't worry. We're here to protect you.
So you sort of helping him up, or like kind of carrying him, or are you bringing him with you when you go to explore?
Yeah, he'll fit, right?
What do you mean?
If I carry him on my back. I know he said that the tunnel was
Yeah,
narrow.
you can piggyback him. You can princess carry him. You can do whatever you want. He's not really in a
Okay.
position to decide exactly how he's moving. He's not able to move
I'll
himself. So whatever you think is most
piggyback him.
convenient for you to carry him.
Yeah, piggyback seems fine. So she'll bend over and just kind of be like, "All right, you
All right.
can wriggle yourself on."
So Juju, I'm going to give you control of his token, so you can just move him with you. You just click and
Okay.
drag to select both of you, and then move him with you. Since you're moving him around.
All right, friends. He said that the key should be over by the blue glowing light.
Well, then this sounds like our tunnel to go down to.
Very well.
Oh,
Uh,
can I pick up my javelin from the
Yeah,
corpse?
I assumed you got them all.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of pull it out of the. Actually, as you pull it out, let's make one last medicine check as you yank it out, since you're right there at the. But do you do it this time? Just
Okay.
see if you notice something interesting.
Do. Perhaps not.
It's a dead snake. It's a bit of a revelation. I know. Don't leap out of your seats. It is in fact a dead snake.
Disgusting. Adisha gives his head a little bit of a kick. Let's go, guys.
It's a corpse, right? It's a corpse, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool corpse.
I mean, it was even a corpse when it was moving around. Now it's a double corpse. But the four of you, with Jasper being carried by Duja, make your way along this tunnel towards that blue light. And as you get a bit closer, you arrive at sort of the opening that Nightshade saw, out into a much smaller cavern than the one where you fought the serpent, but larger than the tunnel itself. It opens up into another cave. As the four of you learn the source of the light.
Pretty.
Oh,
Wow.
what a nice view.
Pretty flowers.
Indeed,
That's-
covering the entire floor of this cavern here is sort of a mound, a hill, coated in these blue bioluminescent flowers. Their petals are giving off the light that you saw from the end of the tunnel.
Disha picks some flowers up and puts it in her pocket.
Can I see if I recognize these flowers?
Yeah, make a nature check.
Nature.
Ooh, 21. Okay, that means that 21 means the DM has to go check his notes for what they're called. They are blooming bells.
Blooming bell.
And
Wait.
actually, with a 21, you estimate that you could actually probably use the petals for something if you were to gather them. As with your expertise of nature, you know that once you pick the petals, they don't stop glowing.
Oh.
So I take out my bag and I just start picking these flowers like a gremlin.
Yeah, just start shoving them in your bag. So there's like little
Yeah.
little
I'm,
beams
like,
of blue light
hunched
coming out of your
over.
backpack.
I'm like hunched over and I'm just like
Disha does so too. These look so good on a dress.
Nightshade's looking back and forth between the two and being like, I don't mean to interrupt your flower frenzy, but there's a corpse in the middle of everything.
Ugh.
Indeed, as Nightshade has pointed
Yes.
out, there is indeed a skeleton just sort of lying nestled within the flowers. Actually, as you guys are picking them, you notice that parts of the flowers, part of this sort of little field of flowers, are kind of very heavily trampled by something quite large, evidently. Some of them are kind of flattened and damaged. And this corpse sits kind of alone in the center of the flowers. But they do actually have a small little backpack lying next to them.
I guess Disha opens the backpack with her trunk.
All right, yeah, you flip it open and you see something kind of shiny down in there, glinting with the light of the flowers. And as you kind of examine it and pull it out, it is a small sickle, so sort of a sharp instrument, weapon sometimes, but also used to harvest plants.
Oh.
And the sickle itself is actually shaped very intentionally like a crescent moon.
I wonder if this person was harvesting the flowers. I guess Duja hands the sickle over to the others. You guys want it? I don't think I have any use for it.
Ooh.
Clover, you feel sort of like there's something special about it. You just get this sort of like gut feeling.
Would it be okay if I held on to it?
Of course.
Yeah.
Trying to collect some flowers?
Yeah. So I grab it and then I start using it to actually pick the flowers and everything.
Yeah, you begin to kind of cut away at them, and they come cleanly at the stem, and you're able to kind of harvest them a lot cleaner than you would have just picking them with your hand.
Like a gremlin.
And you don't really notice any sort of effect there necessarily, but it does sort of it feels good in your hand.
Can I examine it like a little bit more?
You can make an Arcana check, typically, is what we do for this.
Arcana?
The true way to examine items like this is the Identify spell. The Identify spell will explain absolutely everything you need to know about items that feel magical. But I let Arcana checks nudge you in directions. Detect Magic also helps you learn if it's magical at all, but some campaigns don't pick it, and so I help you nudge in the right direction sometimes. With a 10, you do still have that gut feeling that there's something special about it, but with a 10, you don't learn anything more.
Gotcha. Okay. Does anyone know if this was a human or if this was...
Medicine or nature could help.
Can I roll for that, or...?
Yeah, anyone can.
Okay. I'll do medicine because that's my highest one.
Very well. You can see that they sort of have part of their chest kind of broken around the sternum. A large enough hole there to have perhaps been done by a very large snake. So with a 22, you estimate that this person was likely killed by that massive serpent. And as far as what they might be, you estimate probably from the bone structure that they were perhaps a cat person.
A cat? Looks as if we had a cat in our midst.
But
people
Duja, as you're sort of picking some of the flowers, you actually see something kind of glinting in the blue light from within the flowers.
Oh, is that the key? Deja bends over and picks it up.
Yeah, you pull it out kind of from between the petals of the flowers, and you now hold in your hand a very, very ornate skeleton key.
Ah, the key. She turns around and shows it to everyone else. Is the one that got Surrey into so much trouble. I think we should wait to give it back for a second.
That's what I was thinking too. I honestly think we should go to where that portal is.
I agree.
That. Because I'm not too sure what it is exactly.
Should we drop off Jasper first with the somewhere where he can get some help? Maybe with the I think it was the potion store salesperson.
Yeah, herbalist or potion seller.
Yeah,
we can, but also I look Jasper in the eyes, like real squinty, like I also don't want him running off telling everybody what we're about to do with this key. And risk people coming to us. I'm like circling him at this point.
He's kind of still half conscious, just I won't tell anyone. If you lot get me back alive, then you saved my life. I owe you a debt, so I won't tell.
Yeah.
Bunny's promise.
How can we trust you?
He stole the key, you know? I don't know if he's a very trustworthy guy.
I stole the key because, well, I wanted to see if I could do it. It was locked up so tightly, and I just get an itch in my paws sometimes. It was the most securely guarded thing in town, and it was just too much to resist. I was gonna give it back. I just thought I'd hide out a little bit until you know, everyone was less mad, and then I'd just slip it back. No one would know it was me.
Well, what do you guys think?
I look at the dead cat and I'm like, well, it looks like curiosity killed the cat.
Ba-boom. That's all, folks. Stream end.
Nightshade just kind of looks at Clover, giggles a little bit, and is like, and then
I
just
do like a
kinda goes,
little nudge. I do
um,
like an elbow nudge to Jasper.
Careful. That's the side that has got the injury.
Oh, I'm so sorry. All right. Well, don't really trust you, but if you were to betray us after we did just save your life, knowing fully well that we, could have just left you here to die all on your own, then I feel like the guilt that you would feel would be far more terrible than other things that would happen.
Just,
Yeah.
just as long as you get back, maybe as long as you get me back to Carinas. I don't want nothing to do with that key no more. It's none of my business.
I think we
Alrighty.
should believe him.
All right.
Okie
Sounds good to me. And I like do the I'm watching you type thing with my fingers.
Yeah, the 2-finger point.
Yes. But I do that like when everybody's back is turned and he's only looking at me. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Alrighty. So I guess I'm gonna grab a little bit more of these flowers just for safekeeping, and we'll be on our way.
Yeah, so so both you and Duja have filled your bags with the flowers, so you have quite a bunch of them. You can see kind of, even after you close the pack itself, you can kind of see through the seams and cracks that there's still this blue glow. Looks like there's like a mini rave in both of your backpacks.
And I just go.
Duja picks up the skull again and throws it in her backpack. Just casually.
Just so nonchalant, like okay.
Making a collection.
All right,
Well,
sure.
no, I just thought I could probably bring them back outside. Seems kind of sad to be left here. And plus, it might be fun if, when the next person stumbles along in here, they just find 2 corpses without a skull. Might be a cool mystery in the future.
It'd be a good whodunit type thing.
Yeah, I guess that's not wrong, but anyway, let's go now. Looks like we'll have to go back the other way we came.
Yeah, retrace our steps. It looks like.
Hopefully, no more giant flowers.
Ugh, or snakes.
We might have to do the giant flowers again. Snake, I'm not too sure about.
All right. So the 4 of you make your way back down the tunnel towards the large cavern where you fought the serpents, and I'm presuming head back down south.
Hey, look, it's that corpse again.
That sure is one dead snake. All right, so
dead.
making your way back down along the southern tunnel, you eventually arrive back at those crossroads.
Oh, we haven't tried the right side yet.
Do we dare go to the right side, or do we just travel on back home?
Maybe there might be a shortcut here.
I was about to say, if there's any way for Duja not to jump across flowers, I'm sure that would be appreciated.
Yeah, just take a peek.
Worst case, we'll just turn back around.
Turn back around, exactly. We could just nope out of there real quick.
Very well. Then you make your way along the tunnel that you didn't take last time to the southeast, and eventually arrive at another cavern, which yawns open before you.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
And like the others, this one sort of has a raised area, and then sort of these trenches that wind in between that are a little bit of a ways down, maybe 20-ish feet down, that descends into this thick sludge of a swamp, as well as the churning mist does also cover the lower areas as well.
Hmm.
Am I able to see anything in particular from this distance? In the
Well,
dark?
on the far side of the cavern, you can see that there's yet another tunnel, sort of at the same height that you guys are at right now. But you actually also spot down in the darkness, with your devil's sight, you spot a sort of a small, narrow side tunnel that's actually down within that churning mist.
Huh. I see a tunnel, but it looks like it's through the mist and the sludge. I don't know if we can get there now, but I am mighty curious.
Yeah.
Do we dare go to the right in that tunnel? Or
Jasper, what do you know about the tunnels? Did you take a good look around?
Uh, no, I didn't. I didn't go down into the swamp. It's if you breathe in the mist, it's not good. So I leapt across the higher parts.
There must be a way to counteract this mist.
can I pull out one of those blue flowers and like toss it in the mist
All right.
and see what it does?
Yeah, you toss it down there, and it just sort of sinks down into the sludge. But that's about it. You see it kind of glow a little bit, but after it sinks down into the sludge, the glow is kind of extinguished.
Well, that didn't work. Any
Good
other
try.
ideas?
Hmm.
I do still have this weird vial of mysterious liquid we picked up. I don't know if it would do anything, but
Let's save it. Maybe we could take that to the potions person and find out what it is.
that's a good idea. Then I guess our best bet at the meantime is to go back over the flowers. Sorry, Duja.
Deidre just hangs her head down very dejectedly. Yeah, I guess.
So
Okay.
the gaps in this room are they would require a leap, but they're not so far that it'd be impossible.
Oh, okay.
Can we see the platforms in front of us?
Yeah, I sort of assumed that Nightshade never really extinguished the torch, even though she can see beyond it. She can see way beyond the torch that she's holding, but she's still holding it for you guys, for your sake.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe we can jump.
Maybe the tunnels will connect.
There is a
Maybe.
platform as well, all the way in the back. Not the other tunnel, but there is one that's higher up, away from the mist.
Ooh.
I think we could probably try to jump there if we're all feeling brave, or if you prefer the flowers, we can go back.
No. I think here is fine. Nice and sturdy.
I feel like if Clover can make it, anyone can make it.
Yeah,
Certainly.
Nightshade, you estimate you'd have no difficulty with this.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Nightshade's gonna
do
go
a
ahead
head.
and
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump first. Boink. Okay. Easy as
Whoa.
pie.
Yeah, no rolls required. I'd say the only thing that might be difficult is just carrying Jasper over the leap.
Yeah.
But Clover, you make it without too much difficulty as well. Especially with someone on the other side to kind of grab your hand and help pull you up.
Yeah.
Actually, Clover, can you make a perception check for me too?
Perception?
Yes. As you jump over. Nothing. Never mind.
It's very misty everywhere.
Right, they're
It
just kind
is.
of like
You're
running
right.
in place and like shaking her hands, warming up. Are you ready, Jasper? Hold on tight.
I make a joke. I'm like, throw him.
I will.
But Clover, do you think we could catch him?
I look at my noodle arms.
You would
No.
It would
What
just
a
be
noodle
like
arm squad.
it would just look like Duja just threw him off into the swamp.
All right, Jasper, hold on tight.
Yeah, all right. Well, what are we doing?
We're gonna jump.
All right. Yeah. So you leap across with Jasper, and I'm gonna make a dex save on his part
Jasper, no.
to see if he can kind of hang on as you kind of quickly leap across. All right. That was an 18, so he manages to hold on.
Nice.
Dude, you
Shows
can also
the
make
adrenaline.
you can also make a perception for me.
Okay.
And actually, Nightshade, make one too, since you jumped over as well.
Oh, is this like a smell perception or just a normal one?
Not a smell, it's sight.
Okay. 20. Not nat, but
All right, Duja sees it. Nightshade, you can make one too, just to see if you saw it, but it doesn't really matter.
Oh, whoops.
All right. Nightshade, you kind of only really saw it out of the corner of your eye, but Duja, you fully see it as you leap over with Jasper. Kind of your eyes glance slightly downward to see what you're jumping over, and you notice that you saw movement, kind of. Sorry, wrong thing.
Ooh.
Movement through the swamp as it kind of churns below you. With a 20, I would say, Duja, as you leapt over, at first you thought that maybe it was just like something under the surface of the swamp moving, but as you kind of land soundly and kind of turn back to see what you were seeing, you actually notice that it appears to be maybe the swamp itself moving in this sort of like, imagine like a big wave kind of slowly churning its way through this sludge.
it seems like there's like a little bit of a sludge current going on. Y'all see that? You should kind of
No.
goes to the edge.
Mhm.
Maybe this edge. I don't know. Maybe this edge. It's like moving.
Yeah, so
Churning?
this kind of like imagine like, yeah, basically a really, really slow wave just kind of churns its way along this and is just kind of moving slowly through the
See
swamp below
anything?
you.
This fog is too crazy.
Ah, yes, I can kind of see what you're saying. I nearly missed it jumping.
I don't see anything.
Hmm. I guess I'll investigate it. Should I step in there?
It's up to you.
All right. Might
If
as
it's
well.
moving, I don't know.
Okay, she puts Jasper down and takes off her shoes and I guess it dips a toe in.
I
It,
love that you take your shoes off every time. It's so cute.
I will say, Duja, it's not dipping your toe in, it would be a jump. It's about
Oh.
20 it's
Oh.
about 20 feet down.
Oh, I see.
So you would have to jump off this platform and it would probably be harder to climb your way back up, right? Because this is sort of like a rocky outcropping.
Can I like maybe pick up when, or no, if it's a 20-foot? Let me look in my inventory real quick.
The rope, we still have rope, right?
Yeah, it's just tied around you, Clover.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to this thing almost the entire time.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's my
let's
safety harness.
put the rope down there.
I start untying it. Well, hold on. Since it is on me, and since I am small, should I go down there? And
You
y'all
gonna
pull me up if I start screaming?
Are you gonna be okay with the smell?
Yeah. Jasper said that
Uh,
it was not good, so and you don't have a nice trunk like Duja.
I don't. Can I do those flowers that we picked, do those have a certain smell to them?
Not so strong that you'd be able to tell over this sort of noxious
Okay.
fumes that fill the air.
Can I look around to see if I can find any like um things that I could like forage to like
Well,
help?
there's some small little leaves, there's vines, and there's
I
rocks,
have
but
some
that's about it.
rations. Do you think will rations be strong enough?
Rations? Mm, mm-mm. Let me see if I have anything. I do have rations too. Um, what is that? No. Um,
How long could my javelin be? Maybe I could like lay on my belly and try and stick it into the sludge.
I would say maybe you could do that if you were leaning off the side. People would have to kind of hold you though, because with the added length of your trunk, you could probably do that.
Okay. Do you guys want to do that?
This is the noodle arm squad. I don't know if we would be able to hold you up.
I think the smell. I think I should be okay. I'll hold my breath.
Hey.
Hopefully.
All right.
Um.
Dizzer grabs hold of the rope.
All right.
Okay. And I start like descending down.
Yeah,
Like
sort of
I'm on like
rappelling
a
along the
mountain.
side.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then before I hit the mist, I take a huge breath and I start holding my breath.
Very well. Then you were lowered kind of down below this mist. It kind of stings your eyes just a little bit, but you're still able to see. You kind of have to blink furiously for a few seconds before you can see normally again. But then eventually your feet sort of touch and sink down into this sludge, which goes down to about waist height for you.
Ooh.
I let out a.
Are you okay down there?
Mhm.
Yeah, did you feel a bit of slack in the rope as Clover reaches the bottom?
Oh. It's disgusting, isn't it?
Yeah. I start like making my way around it.
Yeah, as you sort of make your way around, you see sort of from around this outcropping here on the far side over here, you see that wave kind of churning through, and it begins to make its way directly towards you,
Oh.
kind of through the sludge along here, directly at you. What do you do?
I move back. uh, actually, I reach down and touch Faith. No. I reach down and try to grab it. Whatever is making the current, I guess.
Okay. So this kind of surge of sludge, kind of this large kind of bump in the sludge surges towards you, and then as it kind of reaches you, it sort of erupts in sort of a spray of sludge, and out of it, at first it's just sort of a skull, but you can see it kind of form as a slime, kind of with this animal skeleton within it, bursts out and attempts to bite at you.
uh,
Uh. I guess.
So you reached out your hand towards it, so it's gonna get to just straight up attack you.
Great.
It's not even an initiative roll. It's just gonna get to do it right off the bat, since you like kind of went to go pet the dog. All right, so it's going to sink those bony fangs into you, and is going to deal you 5 piercing as it just sort of you reach your arm out towards it, and it just closes its whole mouth around your arm and just bites deep into you.
Oh,
Can you just
there's a thing down here. Can I do an opportunity attack?
Not an
Or like
opportunity
a-
attack, no. But if you want to fight it, you can go into initiative order. If you want to just run, you can do that too. Like fighting is not always mandatory, right?
Oh,
I can
okay.
pull up the rope, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
can.
start
Duja
tugging
could
on the rope
attempt
like.
to. Duja
Okay.
could try to yank you back up. It's all up to you guys.
Ah.
Right?
Yeah.
I pull you back up then.
Eh.
Ah.
Yeah. So
Ow, ow, ow.
as the creature kind of releases, its jaws around your arm, you feel that rope pull taut, and you are sort of yanked by Duja back up along the side of this rocky outcropping, perhaps getting a few scrapes on the way up. But you see the creature kind of as you're being pulled up, you kind of look down at the creature, and it kind of turns towards you, and kind of slimes a little bit closer. And it kind of, as you're being pulled up, it starts to rather slowly just sort of ooze its way along the side of the rocks, just sort of climbing along it.
Oh, we could do that.
Disgusting.
Maybe this is about time we tried jumping across.
Yeah.
Come on, Jasper.
You pull Jasper back up. All right, we're leaving? What's going on?
You want to give it a pet?
No, I just don't know what's going on.
There is a
You saw none of that.
slug. I guess I don't know what that was.
Yeah, so you quickly sort of scoop him up and make another leap across.
I showed
and-
Jasper my bite mark. See that? That's what happened.
What's down there? And as you kind of make your way across this chasm, you turn back and you can see this this slime kind of oozing its way over the top of the cliff, and is now kind of on top of the far platform. Just sort of
say,
undeterred, it just sort of continues to slowly ooze its way directly towards you.
let's just say curiosity almost killed the Clover. Now let's go.
Oh.
So the 4 of you quickly race your way back along the tunnel, away from the slime as it just kind of slowly was oozing towards you. And eventually you arrive at another cavern. And as you make your way out into the larger open space, you actually recognize the cavern.
Oh,
Is that
Oh,
the
I
Thank
think
entrance?
goodness.
I remember the little baby flowers.
Yeah,
Oh,
these were the ones that were over here on the other side. But these are the babies.
Indeed, it seems the tunnels have looped around, and you now can see the light of day from the far tunnel to the south.
I take out that little knife thing that we
Yeah, the
found in
sickle.
the other. Mm-hmm. And I take these 3 flowers.
Yeah, it sort of carves its way through them rather cleanly, and you're able to cut the kind of tough stem with ease.
Perfect. I'm gonna take these to the herbalist in the town. See if they want it.
I've never both been excited to see the light and my eyes just at the same time.
I'm excited for the fresh air.
The warmth already is just making me so happy.
So you make your way back along that tunnel, out into the light, and your eyes begin to adjust to the to the far brighter forest as you leave Hidden Hill Burrow behind and make your way back out into the Wandering Woods.
We did it, y'all.
Let's go drop Jasper off. And then we could go figure out what this key is all about.
Very well. So your intention is to make your way back through the woods towards Elwindale?
Yeah.
Alright. Then you sort of retrace your path back through the woods. Yeah, I'd say it's pretty easy to probably follow your own trail, as you guys weren't attempting to hide your trail or anything like that. So you can probably find your own trail and just follow it all the way back if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
that's the best course.
Very well.
Mhm.
Then you do so and wind your way back through the Wandering Woods. Eventually, you pass by the dead butterflies still lying on the ground that you slayed, and a short walk after that, you see the outlines between some of the trunks of the trees of the huts and cabins that make up Elwindale. And so, arriving back in town, where's your intention to head first?
Ballist.
Herbalist. All right. If everybody's in agreement, then we can just
Right.
head right there.
Oh, yeah. The herbalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Then you make your way to the square. Let me just delete everybody and paste the new group. And you make your way across the square, past the well, to the herbalist shop. Time of day, it's probably maybe approaching kind of later in the evening, approaching maybe sundown. Still light outside, but probably nearing the end of the day.
I smell like the food that's been cooking in the
Slumbering
inn.
Swan.
Yeah, and my stomach starts to growl. I'm like, oh, I forgot about food while we were in there.
Ah,
It's probably a welcome departure from the noxious fumes of Hidden Hill Burrow.
I say we drop Jasper off to get help, and maybe we've earned ourselves some food.
You drop off the skulls there too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're somebody's friend.
Go ahead and drop them off over here.
Very well. Then you guys make your way into the potion seller's shop. The door is unlocked, and you creak it open to enter Karina's workshop and store, where you find her kind of behind her desk again, just sort of reading from one of her large tomes. And she sort of, a little bit startled at you guys entering suddenly, just sort of turns towards you. Oh, Evans, I didn't expect to see you back so soon. Is that? Oh heavens! Here, help! Put him down here.
Yes. Yeah, we found your friend.
Oh,
Sorry
I
for
guess
the intrusion.
just kind of unloads him off her back like a backpack.
yeah, she kind of helps you do that a little bit, and
Drops them on the floor.
kind of helps him kind of slump against the side of this large potion vat. And she kind of begins to fuss around, examining his injuries. Oh, however did you get? She's looking at sort of this large hole, essentially, that he has in his side where he was bitten by the large snake. And she kind of examines the veins along his neck. Poison as well. Hold on. I need to get my supplies. And she kind of begins to quickly make her way over to one of her tables and rummage around in some drawers beneath it.
Me too. Do
I
just slump right
follow
next to
her.
him.
I follow her, and I show her the bits of flowers that I found, like with these would these help at all? I found these in the caves.
Not for this, sorry, but I would like to take a look at them once I tend to Jasper.
Of course.
You see her
I
actually
set
kind of...
them on the table over here.
She rummages around. You see her kind of pull out these cloth bandages and stuff, as well as a small little box. And then she actually, as she's turning back towards Jasper, she just quickly snatches with her talon one of the vials that's sitting on this table here that she had for display for sale. She just kind of snatches it up and then quickly makes her way back over here. Clover, you would recognize the one she snatched as the anti-venom that she was selling before.
The which one?
The anti-venom.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's the anti-venom, correct?
Yes, he appears to be poisoned as well, not just injured. And she kind of tips that up and, all right, just swallow. She kind of helps him drink it. And he sort of coughs and splutters, but he chokes most of it down. But as she's sort of tipping it up, you actually go, oh, and you realize what's in the vial that you guys are currently holding.
Oh.
It's the same. It's antivenom. The bottle is different, but the murky liquid is identical to what she's giving Jasper.
Oh.
Nice.
So this mysterious liquid is an antivenom?
She kind of quickly glances. Yes, I don't recognize the bottle, but it certainly looks like it.
We found it off of, I guess Dusha rummages through her backpack and pulls out that traveler skull. We found it off of this guy.
Oh, heavens, that's grim. All right, just
the laugh.
for a moment, would you help me place pressure here? She's kind of turning towards Clover. Just a bit of pressure on the wound here. Help staunch the bleeding. And then she kind of, from the little box that she grabs, she's pulling out some red clot, the small reddish rust red moss, and she has you hold the pressure on, and then she says, "All right, quickly just lift," and then she packs some of it in, and then has you place the pressure back on top of it. All right,
Clover's cheeks
should
turn
help.
really warm because this brings back memories of helping her parents in their shop, and she was always like assisting with them, and she really missed that. So this is bringing back good memories for her.
Yeah, Karina kind of remarks, "You certainly seem like you know what you're doing."
I used to help my parents a lot in their shop, so we had a lot of people that came in that needed help, and I was their little helper, I guess.
Well, you certainly seem like you have a practiced hand. This should hold young Jasper for now. I'll have to stitch up the injury a little bit later, but for now we'll let the red clot do its work.
Good.
And Dusha does her best puppy dog eyes. Can I have
Can you what? Sorry?
Can I have some? I don't need the anti-venom, but a little Verd over here. You know, it's I'll take it as a repayment for saving Jasper's life.
Oh, of course. Yes, you did go and find my troublesome little helper, so of course. She just kind of quickly makes her way back over to this table here.
Thank you.
Oh, the health potion that I had ready's gone.
Oh.
Maybe it was Jasper.
Really?
Was he
No, that couldn't be. He disappeared long before I just made that yesterday. Well, perhaps I misplaced it. She kind of rummages around a little bit.
Stranger things have happened, I suppose.
Well, I was going to... That would have been a far better method of healing you. I suppose I can patch you up a little bit, though.
Thank
Well,
you.
don't you worry. We'll find that scoundrel who took that.
She kind of fusses about with some of your
funny.
injuries, Duja, and she kind of helps patch them up, placing some bandages and kind of wrapping bits and pieces where you've been hurt. So you
Oh,
can heal.
thank
You can
you.
heal 2 hit points, but that's about it.
Okay, how
As
much?
she's like patching her up, I'm like holding Duja's hand.
Nightshade's just sort of shaking her head, be like, "Who does that? Stealing a healing potion?"
I'm
Must
afraid
have been an
that
emergency.
I'm afraid that that's all I can do for now. But I do have another batch of healing potion brewing, though I'm afraid it won't be ready until tomorrow.
It's okay. I'll come back and I'll make sure I buy it tomorrow.
Well, perhaps for all your aid, I could make it half price.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Very
You
sweet.
should.
Now then, it's all a bit of a blur the past few minutes. But wherever did you find Jasper?
Oh, he was in
We found him
the
in-
stinky tunnels.
Yeah.
In the burrows? Jasper, how many times have I
Yeah.
told you not to? Ah, seems like he's fallen asleep. Alright, well, I suppose I'll yell at him later.
Yeah, he's probably had a rough time.
I imagine so. That's quite a grievous wound. But you said you had something else to show me. Sorry. I can take a look at it now
Yeah.
if you want.
Okay. I come over here and I just kind of lay the flowers on the table right here.
Nightshade's giving
No.
a gentle pat to Jasper.
They
You
look
kind of hear
familiar to me.
you can hear sort of deep but far steadier breathing now, as he kind of has nodded off.
That's
Yeah, so you spread
Yeah,
out
these
the
flowers
glowing
look
flowers.
familiar.
As you kind of spread them out, they are still glowing. It's not as like
Uh-huh.
sort of obvious in the light of day now, not within those dark tunnels, but
Gotcha.
they are certainly still bioluminescent. They haven't lost any of their glow.
Mhm.
And
And as
you,
I'm like emptying out my bag, I set the little the what's that knife thing I call it again?
it's a
The
sickle. It's shaped
the
like a
sickle,
crescent
yeah.
moon, so it's a moon sickle.
Yeah. I set that down like kind of nonchalantly too, like next to it. And I'm just like taking everything out just to see if like Karina would like be able to notice that too. But like Clover doesn't know that she's doing that intentionally. But like I wanted to throw that in there just to see.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're doing. Yeah. So you spread out these flowers as you're kind of pulling them out of your pack, and she just kind of examines them. I believe these are blooming bell, right?
Yes.
You found these
I
in the
just
burrow. They're rather rare.
Yeah. They were in their own secluded little area. It was quite beautiful. There's so many, and I at first I needed them all. And then I faintly remember using it for something, but I can't put my finger on it.
Well,
Um
depending on how much you have, I suppose there's several uses that we could have for it.
yeah, I empty out my bag and it's just like a whole bunch.
Yeah, and Duja still has a whole backpack full of it as well. So she sort of
We have a
examines.
lot.
She examines the amount that just you have, Clover, and she says, "Well, with this amount, I suppose we could distill it down and make a mana drop tincture. But we could also, perhaps with a little bit of Quilliam's help, we could also turn it into a lantern, one that wouldn't go out if you submerged it underwater."
Ew.
Ooh.
With this amount,
I wonder
I'd say you'd probably have to pick either or.
What was the first one again?
A mana drop tincture. Spellcasters love them. When they find themselves sapped of their arcane energies, and they feel that they don't want to go to bed yet, and they need to perhaps practice their magic a little longer, then they chug down a mana drop tincture and find themselves a little bit restored.
And it can only this amount only makes one, correct?
Yes, with the amount that you just pulled out of your backpack, it's quite a lot, but probably only one of the two.
I'd have to discuss with my team, with my group.
Of course.
But I would love to do that. And then with these sunflower things, folks. They actually grow a lot larger than what you see here. I just got the smaller ones just to see
It's been
what we can do.
quite some time since I've seen these. They used to grow all throughout the forest, but not anymore. Well, at least that's what I've been told.
Yeah. They're very sturdy. We
Well, they're
actually
they're adamanthemums.
Mm.
They're sturdy flowers. As for their uses, I'm afraid I never really had the chance to experiment with them.
I look in the middle of it. I'm like, could we use these seeds to plant more out here, maybe?
Certainly worth a try. If you would like me to harvest them, I could plant them myself.
Always help you if you need.
Well, it'll be a long process, and I'm not sure how long you're staying in town for.
This is true. Yeah, but that was.
As for
pretty
the
much all
sturdy
my
petals,
questions.
perhaps if you give me a night to examine them, I could think of some uses.
Of course, all yours.
And she was holding kind of one of the larger flowers that you had harvested. And as she kind of places it back down, you see her eyes kind of quickly go to the sickle that you placed next to the stuff that you pulled out of your pack, and she just kind of, you see her kind of almost do like a double take. She glances at it and then thinks nothing of it, and then just sort of looks back. You found this in the burrows?
Yeah, it was with the bell flowers.
May I? She kind of holds her hands out to it to hold it.
By all means, and I give it to her.
She picks it up and kind of, you see her turn it over in her hands. And then she just kind of, you see her actually make an insight check for me quick.
Okay.
Alright, with the 17, you notice that as she kind of turns it over her hands, she just kind of quickly wipes a small tear away from her eye. This
Karina?
This used to belong to old Linus. I'd recognize it anyway. This was his harvesting sickle. It's a moon sickle.
Karina, please forgive me for asking, but was Linus a cat?
Yes. Why do you ask?
Deja digs into her backpack once more. I think we met him.
Unfortunately, he was also where we found all of these blue flowers, and unfortunately, he did not make it.
I see. Well, he disappeared, and I suppose a part of me always hoped that maybe he just traveled through the far woods and went to some other town, but I suppose maybe another part of me always knew that probably wasn't true. I suppose it's nice to have some closure. Linus was, well, I was Linus's apprentice. Quite some time ago. He was the herbalist before me.
Wonderful.
We can bury him somewhere. We have a piece of him if he'd like us to, if there's a place that he'd like to frequent.
Perhaps near Wildflower Walk. He always tended to the gardens there.
Will do.
I feel like that would be beautiful. Would you like to come with us? Say any last words?
I think perhaps we could do it tomorrow.
Of course.
I think you've all had quite a lot of excitement for today. I think Linus can hold off one more day.
And
Yeah.
then see that the sickle is still like in her hand, and I like close her
actually-
fingers around it.
She actually hands it back to you.
Oh, as she does that, I kindly push it back to her. I'm like, I want you to keep it. I feel like it's for you now.
No, I already have my own. In fact, the one that I have, he gave to me. I think he would rather you keep it. He always did want to travel beyond the far woods, and, well, if you folk are travelers, then perhaps it's better with you.
Okay. And then Clover kind of tries to fight by tears herself, and then so she like definitely makes it apparent that it's a even more special trinket of hers, and so she like keeps it on her, like on her body instead of in her bag, so so that way it doesn't get ruined or anything.
Yeah, the way that the sickle is shaped, there is sort of a way that you could fasten it to your belt.
Okay, perfect. So I kind of like cinch it there. I was like, and I'll guard it with my life.
I know it's in good hands.
Well, in that case,
Actually, as Duja was pulling out the skull out of her bag, Karina actually, as she kind of glanced towards you, she notices that your bag is also glowing, and says, you have more of the blooming bell.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to look in my bag anymore though. She kind of stuffs back.
Well, if you have more, you could add your blooming bell to the rest, and perhaps we might have enough to well make both items.
Yeah. She quickly goes into the corner and stuffs the skulls in her pocket, I guess. Or just somewhere in her clothes.
I don't think they would fit, but perhaps you could stuff them into Nightshade's bag.
Can you hold on to these real quick?
Nightshade's too
big
distracted
giant
to notice.
skulls in your
I was thinking about shoving them down my shirt, but if we're gonna bury it tomorrow, maybe not the best idea. He hands them off quickly, just kind of like still making eye contact with Karina, just off to the side.
Prolonged eye contact.
Yeah, here you go. And now we can dump it out.
All right, so Duja's amount of blooming bell basically doubles the amount that you had laid out on the table, Clover. So now you have basically a pile of these flowers on the table, and Karina kind of examines it and says, I reckon we had enough to make both items. I'll
Thanks.
I'll make my way over to Quilliam's before I head to bed, and I'll talk with him a little bit. I think we could probably make a lantern. Would you want me to make both of them then? She kind of looks towards the two of you, and then kind of a quick glance back at Nightshade.
Do y'all want both?
Because I suppose I could make 2 lanterns or 2 mana drop tinctures.
Or
Yeah,
one of
I'm-
each?
I think one of
Nice.
each. Maybe
Yeah,
be on the
one
safe
of each.
All right,
Gotcha.
then I'll work at it. I imagine I'll be up late tending to Jasper anyway, so while he's resting, I'll work on that.
Well, if you need anything at all, we'll be at the inn. So,
All right.
um,
Yes, if anything changes, then I'll send word for you at the Slumbering Swan.
yes.
Well, I won't hold you any longer. You all look positively exhausted. And then she kind of glances at Duja and at you, Clover, and also probably in need of a good bath.
Oh,
Duja looks embarrassed.
my apologies.
With the sludge that you guys have been tracking everywhere.
I kind of like step back a little bit, embarrassed. I'm like, okay.
Don't worry, it's quite all right. This is a potion shop. We have plenty of spills around here.
Alrighty. Well, we'll get out of your feathers, and we'll go ahead and catch back up with you tomorrow.
Very well. I should have what you requested ready for you tomorrow. And we'll go and take care of Linus at the Wildflower Wall as well.
Thank you, Karina.
Thank you.
Rest well.
You too.
You too.
You too. And you 3, Jasper.
He's just snoring now in the corner.
Aw.
Good job.
Alright, so the three of you make your way back out of the potion shop to the town square. And I think that's where we'll end the session for today. Since we're right at 3 hours. It's a perfect time.
Not gonna
And,
lie. I started tearing up with that whole Karina thing.
Yeah.
It was sweet.
When the side quest really gets you.
Way to make me cry, DM.
That just means you're invested in the story. Also, one more good RP for saying, we'll get out of your feathers instead of hair.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was very good. I appreciated that.
I guess as
Oh,
they're
thank
leaving
you.
through the door, Dusha chuckles at that. Ha ha! Or I guess that's not a chuckle. Hearty laugh and kind of repeats the joke to herself. Ha ha ha! Feathers.
Alright.
As we're walking out, the joke that I said it in the cave, like, I'm just like, oh, I probably shouldn't have made that joke in hindsight.
So, let's get back over here. So, right off the top of our heads, does anything interfere with next week at the same time?
I don't believe so.
Nope, not that I know of.
I should be a-okay.
Alrighty, then we will we'll return next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern for another session, and we'll pick right up where we left off.
Yay.
You guys can go take a much-needed long rest.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Oh,
first
yeah,
one,
for
first one of the campaign. So we can go back over what that does, so that everybody can be refreshed and remember it. All right. So we will pencil in next week for another session, and we will call it a night here. So to wrap things up, we'll let you guys tell everybody where they can find you, so that if they want to, they can go and watch your streams. So starting from the left with Lolo, just tell everybody what you do and where they can find you.
Hello. My name is Lolo, and you can find me doing streams. I usually do Dead by Daylight, Overwatch. I just got the Overwatch 2 beta as well, so I've been streaming a little bit of that. It's been pretty fun. Yeah, and I don't have a set schedule, but I just kind of stream whenever. If you want to know when my next stream is, I typically post on Twitter, and my Discord as well. But yeah, you could follow me at lolobones_ for some terrible gameplay.
Very well. And from the right from Lolo is Boomy.
My name is Mamana Boomy. I'm the resident dumbass of 4V Live. I am a variety streamer, and yeah, I just kind of play whatever. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft on 4V Live server recently. I usually stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Feel free to stop by. It's usually pretty chill.
Sounds good. And next to the right is Kat.
Hello, I'm Cat Planet Shine. I like to do variety game streaming. Normally I stream on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. So, and I should be playing some Kirby tonight if anyone is interested. But otherwise, that's all there is to me.
Alrighty. So, for those of you who are new around here, if I'm ever changing any schedule stuff or moving around stream times and things like that, you can find those updates on my Twitter, or you can join our Discord if you have not. It's just for anyone to join. It's not just for players, so feel free. There's all sorts of art there and meme channels and all sorts of things for you to check out if you would like. If you ever miss a session and you can't find it on the VODs on Twitch, because it's probably been more than 15 days, then you can go and check out the archive on YouTube. It's Grand Lurian on YouTube, or follow that link if you want to get caught up on anything you might have missed. And then last but not least, if you want to learn more about the world that all the campaigns I run on this channel, Grand Lurian of course, that world, if you want to learn more about it, then you can check out our World Anvil. It's basically like a wiki for all the information you might need to know. Factions and deities and places and characters, as well as all the races that we use for the play for players here, as well as some homebrew ones as well. So check that out if you want to. And yeah, other than that, I guess to wrap up, Kat, you said you're streaming after this, yeah?
Yeah, in about a half an hour.
Okay. Then yeah, go and watch Kat stream after we wrap up. Playing some Kirby again.
Yeah, playing more
Nice.
Kirby.
Nice. I guess now this time I can ask you how it is, because last time you hadn't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Awesome.
I've been enjoying it a lot.
All right. Well, you guys can go and watch that then. So take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, and have a good night. We'll see you next time.